Okay, so it's DJ NUO here, and today we're gonna deconstruct my track Ashrama. So the track started with some basic percussion, which was taken from Logic standard library. And then I found some extra loops from the internet, which sounded like this. And further, some extra variations added to this loop. Afterwards, another loop is been added with the variation in the first place. So this is basically it as for the drums. So altogether it sounds like this. With the track itself, it's gonna sound like this. So in the beginning of the track, I have string ensemble, which is not repeated anywhere else in the track. These are, let me move this part. So one set of strings, and then another one is hit to anticipate something is coming. And of course there is a choir at the beginning. So at the beginning there is this 4-bit introduction, and then came the choir and strings part. The track starts developing. Oh, the strings coming in, so we are going into something new, anticipating, and we go to the main part, the chorus, the verse. So at this point, we take away the choir which was before and the strings. So at the beginning we have at the bottom this woman screaming or shouting out, whatever you call it, and also another choir-like pad going on. All these sounds come from Logic standard libraries. So there are some extra things here going on before the breakdown. So at first we have an additional choir coming in. So with the previous one, it's building up. So there's something is coming. Besides, at the end we take away some percussion, some battery. So we've got the breakdown. And what else comes at this point is, at first we've got the pre shout out before the next phrase comes in, if you hear it all together. And also some riser at the bottom here, in order to build it up even more. What else comes in is the horn, actually horns with some delay put onto it. Yeah, and then also another French horns. Again, shouting out, riser. New loop comes in, so we are leaving the small part of percussion at the top. Also, we are still having this choir going through all the track. This one. And we introduced the the additional horns. The track has started building up. There is a vocal here. It also comes from the standard Logic libraries, which are free to use for commercial purposes. The horns turn back to the previous ones, and then there is the fake 4 at the end. So we get the 4-beat pause, the 1-bar pause before the drop. So it's building up, and we get another accent and the riser at the bottom to kind of soften it up, since everything abrupts at this point before the drop. So the vocals are being doubled by another ones, besides every part which was introduced before, except for the strings in the main melody comes in, and some amplification in the beat, kind of 909 beat. Some horns still, doing horns. So there is a harp going on at the bottom here. Yeah, then comes in the vocal, the additional one, additional effects. So basically the track is not that complex, it's got like 10 core parts in it. All the other things are ear candies, so to say. And here again, I just took the first part of Shak Nagaron, whatever she's singing in the Irish song. Yeah, and just double it in order to make the variation as for the first part, which was here. So we had, so in a second part we had a bit more variation for the dancers. And then we go again to the same melody. There is also some automation of volumes in order to amplify some stuff. But in the core, the track is also in order to amplify it more in the end. We take again the choir, this one. And cut the vocals so that they are more rhythmic here. And also some ear candies at the bottom, and the effect, the riser, the harp. So the whole track is basically done from the loops, from the standard Logic loops, and also some custom loops which I downloaded. The main struggle with the track was its composition, its arrangement, because the track was created like in 1 or 2 hours in spring, and it took 9 months to build the track till the end point. It took 10 versions and lots of references and consulting with my friends in order to reach the final version, which I still think could be improved in terms of drums and percussion to make it more like urban feel. But I still like the track, its musicality and its feel, its epic feel. Yeah, and with this I can summarize as Deconstruction. Let me know in the comments what would you like to see me doing with my tracks. I'm also planning to do some deconstruction with other producers' tracks as far as I can accomplish it. Yeah, and hope seeing you in other videos. Bye.